Hana was feared and respected in the criminal world. Known as the Mafia Queen, she was cold, brutal, and ruthless. Her beauty was dangerous, and she had climbed to power quickly and mercilessly. Her operations were flawless and her strategies unmatched, making her a powerful figure in the Mafia world. Among her many enemies, one stood out: Junguk. Their rivalry was legendary, full of betrayal and vengeance. Junguk had disrupted one of Hana's major operations, causing her great losses. In revenge, she attacked his territory, striking at the core of his operations. Their hatred was personal, but soon it was going to be personal. Part 2. If you haven't watched part first, go and watch it now. Link in description box. 1 year ago, Jungkook sat on his sofa, a smirk playing on his lips as the front door of his mansion burst open. Hana, the mafia queen, stormed in with the five of her men behind her. Her eyes were blazing with fury. Why do you interfere in my mission? She demanded, her voice icy and sharp. Jungkook leaned back, the smirk never leaving his face. Oh Hana, he said sarcastically, you know I can't resist messing with your plans. It's too much fun. Her anger flared even more, her cold demeanor barely containing her rage. This isn't game, Jungkook. You have crossed the line this time. He chuckled, sitting up and fixing her with a steady gaze. The time of the Mafia Queen is over, Hana. The underworld is ready for a new ruler. It's time for the king to take the throne. Hana's eyes narrowed, a sinister chuckle escaping her lips. You think you can just declare yourself king and take over? You are delusional. Jungkook stood, his posture relaxed, exuding power. It's not about thinking, Hana, it's about knowing. And I know your reign is coming to an end. Hana's cold smile widened. You are in over your head, Jungkook. You don't understand what you are up against. Jungkook crossed his arms, his smirk fading into a serious expression. You think your scare tactics work on me? I've faced worse than you. She glanced over his shoulder, her expression shifting to one of the cold amusement. Stop interfering in my work, or you won't just lose your position, you will lose someone very close to you as well. His heart skipped a beat. How did she know? But then he realized Hana couldn't possibly know about his wife. No one does. He straightened, his voice hardening. Jungkook, empty threats won't work on me, Hana. I don't have anyone close enough for you to use against me. Hana's eyes gleamed with a dangerous light. Are you sure about that? Everyone has a weakness, even you. Maybe you have forgotten, but I never miss. Jungkook took a step closer, his voice low and menacing. Try it, Hana. See what happens when you push me too far. Hana's smile widened, but it was devoid of warmth. You always were reckless, Jungkook. Remember, there's more at stake here than just our little game. Keep interfering. With that, she turned on her heel, her men following her out of the mansion. Jungkook watched them leave, her mind racing. He needed to protect his secret, and more importantly, he needed to ensure his wife remained safe and hidden. Hana had just raised the stakes, and now it was a deadly game of survival. As the door closed behind Hana, Jungkook let out a slow breath. His eyes flicked back to the girl who had been hiding. You, he called out, his voice softer but firm. Come here. She approached slowly, her eyes wide with fear and confusion. Jungkook's anger simmered just below the surface. What were you thinking, coming to this side of the house? You know it's dangerous. She approached slowly, her eyes wide. Wine bit her lip, tears swelling up in her eyes. I was just trying to find you. I heard voices and got scared. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. Jungkook sighed, running a hand through his hair in frustration. You can't be here when my colleagues or enemies come. It's not safe for you. Do you understand how dangerous this is? Her innocent eyes met his and she stepped closer, her voice trembling. I'm sorry, Jungkook. I didn't mean to disobey you. Jungkook's anger began to melt away as he saw the sincerity and fear in his eyes. She was so innocent, so pure, and he felt his resolve weakening. She wrapped her arms around him, hugging him tightly. Please don't be mad. I promise I'll never come to this side of the house again. I was just missing you. Jungkook's heart softened completely. He hugged her back, holding her close. Alright, he murmured, but you have to promise me you will never break this rule again. I need to know you are safe. I nodded against his chest. I promise, Jungkook. I'll stay where it's safe. He pulled back slightly to look at her, his expression serious but filled with love. Jungkook, good. I can't lose you, Wine. You are too precious to me. She smiled up at him, her eyes still glistening with tears. Wine, I won't make you worry again. Jungkook laid down and kissed her forehead gently. Thank you. Now go back to your room and get some rest. I'll come after finishing some work. She nodded and started leaving. Jungkook watched Ryan disappear down the hallway, his heart away with a mix of emotion. He knew he had to protect her at any cost. The thought of her being hurt because of his dangerous was unbearable. Yet he also knew that if he messed with Hana, the Mafia Queen, one more time, she would stop. But the fire of ambition burned bright within Jungkook. The dream of becoming the Mafia boss, ruling the underworld with an iron fist, was a consuming passion that he couldn't shake. He was ready to take the risk despite knowing the dangers it would brought to his doorstep. As he sat back down, pouring himself another glass of wine, his mind churned with the thoughts of his next move. He knew that every step had to be calculated, every decision precise. He couldn't afford any mistake, not with Hana watching his every move. Jungkook ran a hand through his hair, his expression hardening. He was ready to face whatever come his way, whether it was Hana's wrath or any other threat. His determination to become the king of the underworld was stronger than ever. He would protect Ryan and secure his position no matter the cost. Present Jungkook fury. I watched the girl sitting on the chair, her laughter sent a shiver down my spine, reminiscent of Hana's chilling demeanor. I refused to believe that Hana could somehow return. She was dead, and I didn't believe in ghosts or spirits. There had to be a rational explanation for this girl's presence here, and I am determined to find it. Her laughter echoed in the room, growing more unsettling with each passing moment. I couldn't let her continue. With firm resolve, I walked towards her and grabbed her jaw, my voice steady but firm. Who sent you? I demanded, my gaze piercing into hers. She stopped laughing, her expression shifting from amusement to a mixture of surprise and fear. No one sent me, she stammered, her voice trembling. My frustration turned into shock as if her expression suddenly shifted, revealing innocence of vulnerability. Before I could say anything, she collapsed once again, leaving me with more questions than before. Damn it! I cursed under my breath, my anger simmering beneath the surface. I had been so close to getting answers, but now she had slipped away again, leaving me with nothing but uncertainty. I knelt beside her, frustration coursing through me. Wake up, I shouted, shaking her shoulder. I need to know what you are involved in. Who sent you here? But she remained unconscious, her face serene in sleep. I sighed heavily, running a hand through my hair in frustration. This isn't over. I will find out the truth one way or another, and whoever is behind this would be. I gritted my teeth in frustration as I yelled for one of my men to come over with the water. He came, and with a quick motion, I grabbed a glass of water from his hand and splashed it onto her face, the aggression in my actions matching the intensity of my anger. Get up, I groaned, my voice sharp and commanding. I need answers, and I need them now. As the water hit her face, she stirred, her eyes fluttering open. After a few moments, she blinked rapidly, trying to adjust to her surroundings. I loomed over her, my gaze piercing into hers, demanding the truth. Who sent you here? I demanded, my voice tight with frustration. What are you involved in? She blinked up at me, confusion clouding her expression. I don't know, she whispered, her voice trembling. I don't remember anything. I narrowed my eyes, my patience wearing thin. You expect me to believe that? I snapped, my tone laced with skepticism. But she shook her head, her expression honest. Please, I'm telling you the truth. I don't know what's going on. My frustration reached its peak as she continued to insist on her innocence. With a sharp gesture, I called one of my men over and instructed him to bind her to the chair. Panic flashed across her face as she realized she wouldn't be able to escape. Wait, what are you doing? She cried out, her voice tinged with fear. I ignored her pleas, my jaw clenched with determination. I need to know the truth, I said, coldly, my tone broken your argument. And until I get it, you're not going anywhere. She struggled against the restraints, her desperation palpable. Please, you have to believe me, she pleaded, her eyes wide with fear. My man secured her to the chair, stepped back. I took a step closer, towering over her with a stern gaze. She looked up at me, her eyes filled with towers and pleading. Last chance, I said, my voice low and warning. Tell me who you are. And she began, but before she could finish, I couldn't bear to hear her say my wife's name in the midst of this deception. With a swift motion, I slapped her hard across the face, silencing her. Don't you dare to use her name in this charade. I spat, my tone laced with anger. She recoiled from the force of the slap, shock registering on her face, but as she met my gaze, I could see the fear in her eyes. She knew she had crossed a line and now she would face the consequences. But she clung to her innocence, her tears flowing freely as she cried out in desperation. Why are you beating me? She pleaded, her voice cracking. What I have done to you? I felt a surge of frustration and anger coursed through me at her words. How can she sit here and pretend to be innocent after everything she had done? With a growled frustration, I slapped her once more, the force of blow causing her to bleed from the counter of her lips. But still she refused to pay, clinging stubbornly to a facade of innocence. I growled at her, my jaw clenched. Stop pretending. I hissed, my voice low and dangerous. You know exactly what you have done. Now tell me the truth, or this will only get worse for you. I stepped back, leaning against the table with my hands stuck into my pockets. My gaze remained fixed on her, cold and unwavering. Get the truth out of her by any means necessary. I issued a stern command to my man, my voice breaking no argument. Following my orders, my man delivered a swift kick to the chair, causing her to tumble backwards with a cry of fear. The sound echoed through the room, mingling with the pained screams. I watched with a hardened expression as she struggled against the restraints, the fear in her eyes intensifying. Despite the turmoil within me, I remained steadfast, my determination to uncover the truth unwavering. As my man continued to apply force, I felt a surge of detachment wash over me. Blow after blow landed on her, each one eliciting cries of pain and desperation. Her body soon became bloodied and bruised, but I could care less. I had beaten and even countless people in this very room, including one woman named Hannah. If her body really is possessed, she'll die anyway, I thought coldly, and if she refuses to speak the truth, then she will meet the same fate. I watched with a detached gaze as the unfolded before me, my heart hardened against any shred of compassion. In this world of darkness and deceit, I had learned to survive by any means necessary, if it meant sacrificing others in the process, and this girl, whoever she is, would be no exception. Author POV. After a while, Namjoon entered the room and immediately ordered the men to stop. Jungkook straightened up from the table, glaring at him. Namjoon is his right-hand man and have authority to command the others, but this was Jungkook's order. What the hell are you doing? Jungkook rolled, eyes burning with anger. Namjoon looked down, showering rare deference. Boss, I found out something about this girl. Her body is possessed. Jungkook stared at him incredulously. What are you kidding me, Namjoon? The stuff doesn't exist and you can back to the work. Jungkook shook his head, his expression earnest. No, please don't hurt her. I'm not lying. Reluctantly, Jungkook took the tablet Namjoon handed him and watched the video. The girl was about to, an old woman, her face a mask of cold determination. The child was saved in time. As the video ended, the chill ran down Jungkook's spine. Namjoon looked at him, his voice firm. Look at her. She's 18 or 19. Do you really think this innocent looking girl can harm someone? No one except for Hana would be so brutal to target aged people. Hana, Jungkook repeating his voice barely a whisper, memories of the past rushing back. Namjoon nodded. Yes, Hana was dangerous, ruthless. She wouldn't hesitate to anyone who stood in her way. And I'm telling you, Hana's fit in this girl's body. Jungkook stared at the unconscious girl, his mind racing. Could it be true? His mind a whirlwind of conflicting thoughts and memories. Without saying a word, he turned and left the room, his footsteps echoing down the hallway. Namjoon watched him go, then turned to the others. Get her to the guest room and call the doctor. He commanded, his tone broking no argument. The man quickly followed his orders, lifting the girl carefully and carrying her out of the room. Namjoon sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. The situation is far more complicated than he had anticipated, and he hoped that the doctor could shed some light on the mysterious girl's condition.